This episode of Joyride is being brought to you by High Bank. High Bank is a proud Columbus-based distillery. Look for High Bank spirits at your local liquor store and favorite bars around the city. By purchasing High Bank spirits, you're supporting and drinking local. Drink local, drink High Bank.
You're listening to Joyride, a podcast for people who love cars. Now sit back and enjoy the ride.
Hey guys,
What's up, everybody?
it's Rob and Pete.
Joyride Podcast,
Joyride Podcast.
episode 21.
21.
Yeah.
Boy, now there's something. I'll tell you. Did you ever think we'd get to 21?
No,
I didn't think we'd do 12.
I didn't think we'd do 12 either.
This is pretty incredible.
Yay, us.
Yay, us.
Good job.
We're going to break through any day now. I could feel it. We've got the library. Spotify will call. I know they will.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, technically, we're on Spotify already.
See? We're just that good.
I mean, they're not paying us to be there.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, we're
the
there.
catch. Okay.
So
right.
if Spotify is your app of choice,
Yeah.
you can get us on there.
Well, it's been, a week since we've been doing this?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're back. What's changed in a week? I'll tell you what's changed. I got to drive your car.
You did.
I'll tell you what. I cannot get that car out of my head.
Yeah.
So let's, before I just drool all over this microphone here, let's see. You've had it for a week now.
Yeah.
It's licensed. It's titled.
Yes.
Okay.
It's insured.
It's insured.
Yeah.
You're driving it, what, every day, every other day? I mean,
When the weather's nice,
Okay.
yeah, I get it out. But we've had kind of some crap weather this
All right.
last week, so I've only had it out probably twice since the last podcast.
okay.
Not
So-
counting today. I
not
had it
counting.
out a lot today. It was a beautiful day in the
Yeah.
Columbus area.
Yeah.
70 degrees.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
beautiful.
High 70s
Yeah.
almost. Yeah. So what's the takeaway now? I mean, it's settled in. I mean, I know it's still fresh and there's still a grin on his face. I know it's radio, but talk to us. Tell the people what we want to know.
Well, bottom line is it's a fantastic car.
It certainly is.
A perfect shape for a sports car as far as aesthetically it looks great. Proportionally, it's just outstanding. You sit pretty much over the rear wheels. You're a little forward of those, and then the front end is long, but it's not too long.
Yeah. Oh,
It's just great. It's got power when you want it.
man. Oh man. So maybe a better way to go about this podcast is to explain to the people your perception of my enjoyment the first time I rolled on your throttle there, huh?
When I say Pete giggled like a schoolgirl, like that is what it was, and it
Oh,
didn't
man.
Stop.
No.
It was not like
No.
the first time you laid on the throttle, you laughed, and then the rest of the drive, it was fun. It was just constant giggling and just having a great time.
I cannot tell you how excited I was
Yeah.
in that moment. Like every rip through the gears is just, I mean, and it's got, the power band just doesn't stop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I drove my car, my red one up here, to get like into the mood, right? Because I
Right.
knew I was going to drive the car tonight.
Similar age, similar,
Yeah,
this
I'm
is
gonna drive it
BMW.
off a cliff and crash it because it's not the same. Like
Yeah.
mine's fun. Like
Yes.
like if fun was cute, like that's mine.
Yeah.
Just adorable. And yours is like throaty, ballsy, just real performance car.
Yeah. It absolutely is.
Now I know mine's not supposed to be, but it's still, you feel inadequate.
Well, it's the great comparison, right, is the fact that yours is a BMW. It's about the same age as that car. So you get the gamut of what the entry level is and then where the performance, like the difference there. Like you can really tell BMW engineering for that time and what they did to make that car an M.
What a fantastic ride. Oh my God. Couple roundabouts. Got the tires to break loose once.
Yeah.
Oh man, super fast, super furious. I really don't have descriptors that are adequate for this discussion. It was amazing, and every time, like we were out half hour, 40 minutes,
something like that. Yeah.
I mean, I could have been out there another hour, 2 hours.
Oh, 100%.
Oh man.
Yeah, it doesn't get old.
Yeah.
You know.
How do you not track that car now? Like, I mean, all I want to do is throw it into a turn.
Right. Yeah.
And come out of it. I mean, just it's.
Well, and we went down a few roads where it was like they were beautiful roads, but to follow the speed limit.
Yeah. That was tough.
They would be great to triple the speed limit through there, and that car would handle it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Boy, I didn't think about it. Yeah. Triple that speed limit would have been, I mean, just rip through those.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. It was a lot of fun. And it was, and I was talking about this in between, like letting off the throttle and letting the car kind of breathe again. The ride for the age
mm-hmm.
is strong. I mean, there's no like, asterisk or caveat. Like it's a tight car.
Yeah.
From the suspension to the steering, even like braking, it doesn't pull wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like it is right. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. I even told you this on the ride. Like I would not spend any money that wasn't for a performance piece of equipment on that car, and even then, not sure that I would.
Yeah.
Just to drive that car.
Yeah.
I mean, any dime that you spend, if it were me, is just to keep it on the road.
Yeah.
Let the fucking fenders rust off. I don't care. Like keep, as long as you have the exoskeleton.
Right. Yeah.
Get the chassis. I mean, it's a fantastic car.
Yeah. And with the top down.
Oh man.
It's like you said, it's indescribable. You can't put into words what a car like that can be.
Yeah.
To experience it. You just have to go and find one and drive it.
And I will tell you, I'm not going to get a Z3 that isn't an M car. I may never get another car that isn't an M car or performance like standard, because
it was that much different for you.
It just, there's no question. Like I have fun like a 6-year-old does playing tag or kickball at recess. Like that's fun. This was real.
Yeah.
This was a divine experience. This is something that I mean, I felt like man, I don't know. I can't go back now.
Yeah.
I can't do that. I don't even want to drive my car home. You give me a ride? Put a for sale sign on it, stick it on Morse Road.
Just leave it out here.
Jeez. It's fun because not only the type of car that it is and what it's capable of, but it's fun because it's still correct. Like you aren't driving something that isn't roadworthy.
Yeah.
It's worn in, there's no doubt, but it is every bit as capable as anything else you put it next to, a comparable year, model, make, whatever. Like you're not rubber bands and dental floss, tying this thing together.
Right.
It's a strong piece. It really is.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun though. I think we could probably talk about my level of enthusiasm over this car for 6 more hours. But if we haven't lost all 12 listeners already, we'll change the subject here.
Yeah.
Something else happened this week.
Something did, yes.
Yeah. And this is a little off topic and hard switch, but transitions have never been our thing. So why start now? Hummer EV.
Right? EV.
We touched on it.
Yeah.
When it came out. I watched the promo video.
Okay.
Which I think was like 5.5, 6 minutes
I
long.
think that's the one that I started.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't see anybody like stand on stage and like drive it out or anything.
Yeah.
Talk about
it. Did they
it.
do that?
I don't know.
Okay.
Because I didn't watch it.
Got it.
I woke up the next morning and watched the promo video. But first of all, whatever agency is shooting that shit, worth every dollar.
Yeah.
I'm not lying to you when I say I don't need a truck, but I'm looking for a truck.
Right.
I'm always kind of like, maybe, whatever. I went to reserve a Hummer after watching that video, only to find out that it was full.
Sure.
They were sold out.
Of course.
Which was great because the price on this thing was $113,000.
Right. They are expensive.
So that's what I want to talk about today, right? Like the performance, great. The marketing collateral, phenomenal. Fired something up inside of me that said, you know what? I want to be a part of this, right? But the fucking price, man. I mean, what are we going to do about that stuff?
I don't know. I mean, and they're calling it a super truck.
Yeah.
To justify that price tag.
What they're doing is building trucks or cars, right? Like in this era for the collector, not the driver. I'm out of that market. I can't buy that.
Yeah.
I won't even be close to buying that. And by the time 2024 comes around and the $72,000 version comes, which nobody will want. I mean, you got this beautiful truck that crab walks and does all these other things.
The crab walking thing was nuts.
That's wild, right? But, you know, if I can squeeze into one of these things, I got to wait 3 more years and it's still going to be $72,000.
So explain to the people, for those that haven't watched the Hummer promo, what is crab walking?
Yeah, so this is a term I think they just created. So General Motors is not new to 4-wheel steering. I mean, this dates back to early 90s. I don't have the model numbers, but 4-wheel steer was a thing, and I think it was on their truck body already.
Yeah.
Because of how long the trucks were, right? It was more, I wonder if GMC did it, because they tend to be the higher end, like feature type of stuff, but it was more of like a novelty. Like it really it never went anywhere, and it broke a lot, right? Like they took 4-wheel steer to a new level and actually allow you to turn the wheels right or left in this position, like this functionality. I forget the degrees, but it effect will allow you to sidestep a boulder by 12 or 18 inches. To see the video and then to see the aerial view and to see this truck literally move diagonally like it would on ice if you were to push it was just crazy.
Now, as a video production professional,
yes,
that particular shot looked faked to me.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It looked like they did the CGI model. To me, the way that the truck moved, the speed at which it sort of went over, something about that felt fakery to me.
Okay.
So, but I don't doubt.
You heard it here first.
I don't doubt that it'll do that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a feature, like it has to physically do that. But just that shot, it seemed a little
sharp, a little too refined.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
But still awesome. Regardless, you could parallel park that way. You could pull up.
You could damn near move laterally,
and you can almost move at a perfect lateral.
It's not a perfect lateral,
right? It's not. Yeah,
but
you could parallel park it that way, and that would be badass. Like you pull up, and you crowded restaurant, people everywhere.
So
and your car just slides sideways into a spot. Like what?
That would be awesome. So. Price aside, and I don't want to rant on it too much, but I am extremely disheartened and disappointed by the price, because it forever excludes me from it. And the reason it's sold out is because a bunch of rich people want to say they have it and park it and not even use it, right?
Was the old Hummer, personally, I'm not a Hummer guy. I have an old friend of mine that I used to work with that he rock crawls with like an old school, like military style Humvee.
Yeah.
And he's got a group of friends that he goes out and they all have Hummers of different ages and whatever. And they're souped up to be able to like literally climb up really steep inclines. Were they ever marketed as the performance vehicle like this one is?
No.
Because I mean, it's got 1,000 horsepower.
Yeah.
And then the torque number. Did you see the torque number? It doesn't even seem real. Like 11,000 foot-pounds of torque or something like that.
I know. I mean, I'm shaking my head. I don't have anything.
What does that even mean?
I don't know.
What does that even like?
How do you keep the rear axle attached to the frame? Like, I mean, I don't know. I think the original Hummer crossed over from the military application, and it was just a brute force, right?
Yeah,
and that's what it was. And those weren't cheap either. Those were $80,000-$90,000 trucks in the mid to late 90s, which that kind of money then is expensive.
Sure.
Right? I mean, it's expensive now, but I think GM carrying the moniker of Hummer and turning it into an electric vehicle really had me second guess everything about it. I mean, from a branding perspective and an equity perspective, like how do you ruin something like that? That's not what that was. And then I watched that video and I was like, oh, they're geniuses.
Yeah.
This is perfect. You get instant brand recognition with the name. And this is something that is in a lane of its own, pardon the pun, right? Like this is separate from everything else out there, which takes me into my what a fucking joke the Cybertruck is. I mean, you talk about two equally hyped performances, and I feel like there's a legitimate production vehicle that I really would want.
Yeah, and
then there's this stupid triangle geometric piece of shit that will never actually come to market anyway.
Right. Yeah. They stole a little bit from the Bronco. You know, the styling is very similar with the Hummer written in the lights across the front grille, the way the
open
Bronco,
air,
the open air, how all the panels come off.
But remember my conversation about the Bronco, impractical for me, right?
Right.
But the Hummer, full 4-door, like family.
Plus a bed in the back. Yeah.
I mean, I was all in.
Yeah.
Till I saw the price.
Right.
Shit.
And I wonder if they were influenced at all by Bronco, the fact that Bronco launched with their lower tier price points and with the Raptor coming, which the Raptor will be more of what competes direct with this, and how the Hummer went right into the performance variant launching first.
Yeah.
I don't know if that had anything to do with it or if they specifically said, okay, we're going to attack this market while it's here.
Yeah. It's interesting to me, and nobody's talking about it. Mostly, I would imagine, because nobody knows, but positioning an off-road specimen is phenomenal as that thing was, right? How do you entice somebody to go out into the unknown on a 300-mile charge?
On an EV,
right?
yeah.
You know,
like, I know, yeah.
Jeeps will always have extra gas cans on the back.
Right.
I mean, like, you know what I mean? Like, and it gives you this unlimited sense of freedom.
Yeah.
You're only bound by the geography that stops your car or truck from moving forward.
Right.
But you gotta plug it into a redwood tree? I mean,
yeah.
You know? I mean,
I
and that's 300 plus mile drive on a regular. Like, what if you're beating the shit out of it up and down a mountain?
Right, yeah.
Maybe now you only get 150 miles.
Yeah, especially with the charging stations. The network isn't everywhere.
Look at where Jeeps go off-roading, right? Like all these trails and these clubs and stuff. I mean, there isn't anything outside of a gas station 30 miles into town, right? I mean, like, let alone charging ports.
And there's not a gas can equivalent of a charge. Like, there's no portable charge that exists yet, just to get you out of trouble.
Yeah.
And because it's all EV, you don't even have gas to fall back on. A lot of the hybrid stuff makes more sense to me because then
you limp mode, right?
You just
exactly.
Limp it home,
you can limp
home or limp it to a gas station, and then you're fine. But it's it definitely niches in the experience that you could have with that car.
Yeah.
Vehicle, I guess. It's not really a car, is it?
No, but there's definite guardrails around, it'd be interesting to see, like, do you start setting up events that have, that are less, discovery, based, right, in the open wilderness, and more manufactured ramps, hills, climbs, but have the infrastructure around so that
station,
you go back and you have a couple beers at the one tent while your thing's charging up. I mean, I don't know if that's how the sport evolves and people kind of gravitate towards it, or if people are just like, no, this is garbage. This isn't going to get us through that trail and on the other side.
Well, and I maybe there's a market there for people opening up charging stations that are near that type of thing. You know what I mean? Like near hikes, near trailheads and stuff like that, so you could charge it up. You drive it the whole way there.
Could you imagine though, like if that was a business, like, are we really saving emissions if, my company drives a tractor trailer out to the trailhead and I'm running generators and shit so all these EVs can charge up before they go hit the trailhead? Like,
I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe not.
Maybe not.
I'm not a scientist. I don't know.
No, I thought that the quick charge was cool. That you'd get, what did they say, 100 miles,
100 miles in 10 minutes,
something like that.
That's only on the top of the line.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you have to have the top level.
Yeah, you have to have the top level.
So I could see that. I mean, you could if there was a charging station close, like you have that kind of window. But to your point, as a piece. That's the one thing they never really say.
Yeah.
Okay, it's got 1,000 horsepower. Cool. That's awesome. It's got insane amount of torque. Awesome. And the range is good. Is the range good? Like, how quickly are you just going to deplete the batteries hauling ass in that thing.
Yeah.
That's the one bit of info that they always leave off of all the promos.
Exactly.
Just like the Tesla, like, yeah, you can do a crazy 0 to 60 time.
But if you can only
times.
if you can only rip off 6, yeah,
right,
like
yeah,
what good is it?
What good is it? And then you're stuck.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Either literally stuck or stuck charging for an hour and a half.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It gives me some bit of hope for the EV as a concept. It's weird to see it executed in an off-road type thing.
Yeah.
That doesn't really make much sense to me. But it is absolutely impressive. It looks phenomenal. Obviously, it looks better than the Cybertruck. I think we agree there.
100%.
Does it look that much better than the Bronco, which is half the price?
I think it's double the car, though. Double the vehicle.
It's definitely double the vehicle from a performance standpoint, from just size. It's way bigger.
Standpoint,
capability. But like aesthetically, though, I don't know. It would be interesting to see those two parked next to each other.
I would love that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know that I would leave that parking lot. Right? Coming out of the grocery store and then just stuck there. What happened to you? Oh, I was stuck staring at a car for 45 minutes. But I mean, I mean, the Bronco is expensive to me. I mean, if you go back and listen to our conversations from that, I was deflated at like the $55,000, $57,000 price tag on that thing.
Yeah.
That crept into the low 60s, I think, with packaged up.
Yeah, depending on how you're gonna spec it.
Yeah. What do they call it? The Black Bear or whatever.
Sasquatch.
Yeah, Sasquatch. There we go. But it's just like, man, the only people that are gonna have fun are like uber rich people or guys that own dealerships that can kind of order them and hide them in the back and save them for themselves. So it's just it's disappointing, especially for people like us that like to experience the thing.
Yeah. I'm excited to see them coming back. I think it's funny that they, as a brand, put middle fingers in the air. People associated Hummers with like gas guzzling and emissions.
I mean, that was where cancel culture started.
Right, yeah.
And nobody knows it, but it was the H2 that everybody was like, this is terrible.
Yeah, it's huge, and it's, and that is the one thing that I do like about the styling is they did sort of pull it back a little bit. It is a sleeker looking truck than the H2 was, which was way more just
I think it's so cool
top.
that they had this brand in their back pocket. That they're just able to go their bag of tricks and pull it out. I mean, they didn't have to make a new brand. They didn't have to sully the Silverado or the Sierra brand. I mean, look at what the Mach-E looks like.
I was just going to bring
four-door version.
Yes.
Now, you didn't have anything else.
You mean a Mustang Mach-E.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You put a Mustang logo on the front of a four-door car and electrified it.
Four-door truck. SUV.
The Mach-E is?
Well, it looks like an SUV. It doesn't look like a car to me.
Okay, I haven't gotten a good look at it, but
it looks like a crossover in my opinion. But it's not a Mustang, but they're calling it one.
Doesn't that like ruin the brand?
100%, I think it does.
Yeah.
I totally respect what Ford is trying to do with the Mach-E system. You know what I mean? Just like Hummer's doing, right? Like we want to bring out the EVs.
Yeah.
Clearly, there's a market. Clearly, people want them. But the way that GMC did it versus what Ford is doing is night and day.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to pay off for Ford.
No.
It's still too early to tell because it's not out yet.
Yeah.
Why not go back in and find a name that fits that as a platform? You could do an EV Mustang.
Yeah.
You could 100% do that.
I mean,
people would buy it.
1,000 horsepower,
Yeah.
11,000. I mean, 100%. Like it would be on brand.
Yes. Yeah, and you style it a little bit differently to get that EV feel, but it's still the silhouette of the Mustang.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know either.
I think
it's bizarre.
You want to talk about the 800-pound gorilla, right? Ford and Chevy, right? Just mamma jammas. And you've got probably half a dozen American, let's just say a dozen tech startups that are bringing to market electric trucks exclusively.
Yeah.
6 or so are here in North America. I wouldn't put money in any of those.
Yeah, not anymore.
No, not anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, am I going to go buy Nikola's truck, even with the GMC partnership may or may not be there? No. Am I going to buy the Cybertruck? No. Am I going to buy
the Rivian?
Rivian,
yeah.
No.
Yeah, not a chance.
No. I'll say it again. No. How do you compete with the proven formula and delivery of a Silverado, GMC, Hummer?
You can't.
Track record.
You can't.
You can't. And who's going to fix my Rivian when it breaks? I can't even remember the damn name. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Let alone what is the resale like on that?
Of course.
Of course. And that's still the big question with the EV thing, just in general, though, is just what do you do with an 8-year-old battery system? You know what I mean? Like, is the charging stations, are they going to be compatible? The new Apple phone isn't compatible.
I know. They won't even give you a charging cord now. Not giving any airtime to that asshole.
But that's my point, right?
Yeah.
Is that is just how technology works. Every 3-4 years, technology gets better, things change, and interfaces change. We'll see what that does to the EV market.
Yeah.
You can still roll up with a 20-year-old BMW into a gas station and pour gas in the motherfucker.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about it.
Nope.
So, I don't know.
I know. I think it's going to really be a tale of two cities, right? I mean, like, I don't know how you flip completely over. Certainly not in our lifetime.
Yeah.
I mean, it's coming quick. There's no doubt. And I don't want people on the other end of this to hear like this super ignorant statement, but I just don't see how you do a 1-for-1 substitution inside of the next 30 years.
Not unless the surrounding ecosystems focus in on it, right?
Yeah.
So if government infrastructure focuses on EV being friendly to construction when they're building charging stations and giving those guys tax breaks, just everything around that, businesses supporting them. On the other side of things too, like the tech side of things, right? Like the development of the batteries, making sure that they last longer, that there is some sort of portable charging system out there.
Universal. Yeah.
That's universal that you could, well, even if it's not universal, like even if you had to go buy GMC's portable charge where you could plug this big brick in before you left the house and you knew you had 200 extra miles of range in this thing, you throw it in the trunk.
Yeah.
And you're, that is your spare tire essentially, or what, your extra gas can to get you out of a problem. Until all of those things align and really focus in on it, I agree. I don't see it happening. A lot has happened in the last 10 years as far as the EV. You look at, where it started and where it is now. Yeah. But there's a lot more room to grow.
Yeah. I just don't see your daily and my daily getting traded out for true EV. No. Like I mean, and having that be, 90% of the market, flips to EV. It's moving fast. There's no doubt, but I don't, there are some existential questions that need to be answered. And even if we all agreed and rode in that same direction, the sheer building out of the infrastructure, like you said, is going to take time. 1, to retrofit, and 2, to modify. But, you think about how fast technology evolves, yet you're going to have to purposely slow down the evolution, if not delay it altogether, so that a 15-year-old EV can still plug into the charging station at your work or you can't continually evolve that stuff because your infrastructure can't change that fast.
Building off of what you're saying, this is an article from Road and Track that came out at the beginning of October. The Porsche Taycan outsold the 911 and the 718 and the Panamera in the last quarter in the U.S.
Wow. Are you serious?
Yeah. So clearly, people are getting into them. Yeah,
that's crazy.
To outsell the 911, the 911 is more expensive. So the Taycan's a little more affordable, but still.
Well, you think about the innovation, right, and the just leap forward in something new from Porsche. Like, I'll be honest with you, the 911. All of them, everything you just named, they all look the same.
Right.
They all have looked the same.
Right, yeah.
For the better part of 30 years.
Yeah.
Right? Now, that's part of its charm, but it's also difficult to discern the Carrera versus the... I don't know. I'm not the best Porsche guy out there, but... And then you get this Taycan that is totally different.
Yes.
Something totally new.
Yeah.
Still gives you the brand buy-in capability, right? Buying the Porsche name. Maybe it does make sense that they outsold. There's very little innovation left from a design perspective and from a horsepower perspective. Performance wise.
Yeah.
How much more power can you put in a 911 turbo?
Oh my gosh, they're so fast.
They're so fast.
They're so fast. Yeah.
They're supercar fast at this point.
They are. They really are.
Even base models. I'm not talking GT3s or GT4s.
Right. Yeah. Just the regular 911 turbo is. Well, they're all turbos now. I guess technically, but.
Even the one that's not a turbo is called a turbo.
Right. Yeah.
What do you think turbo means in German? Like, das expensive. Call it turbo. Another podcast.
That's it. Yeah.
I'll tell you, man, these things go so fast.
This podcast goes by faster than a 911.
Oh, I like that. That was nice. Well, guys, if you haven't already, check out Rob's car on our Instagram, Joyride Pod.
Yeah.
And we have been checking our email inbox. Crickets. Send us some email, guys.
Oh, speaking of which, I want to give a shout out.
Yeah.
I don't know. Did Bert send you that picture? There's what he got to take for a spin the other day.
No, he did not send that to me. What? Why? Why does everybody get to do these things?
A friend of ours, Bert, he works for a dealership and he takes photos of cars when they come in to put up on their website when they're for sale.
Oh.
And it's a brand new, I think it's a GT4.
Yeah. God, I've never seen the red and black like that.
Bright red on black.
Wow.
Porsche GT4.
Bert's so good made me feel so bad right now.
Look at the shit-eating grin on his face.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Oh, you just casually had to get the GT4 embroidered seat in the background.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. I'm happy for you.
Shout out to Bert.
Yeah.
Good on you, buddy.
Hey, Bert, can you take this over to the car wash down the lot? He gets lost.
Yeah.
Send us some email.
Yeah, contact joyridepod@gmail.com.
That's right. Special thanks to our sponsors, High Bank Distillery, highbankdistilleryco.com.
highbankco.com.
Damn it.
One of these days we'll get it right.
Woo! They actually, yeah, we can fix that in post.
I'm not going to.
They're going to stop sponsoring us if we can't do it right.
No, it'll be fine.
Okay.
We're on pretty good terms.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. All right, guys.
That's it. Until next time.
Enjoy the ride.